The Canola School on RealAgriculture.com is brought to you by Alberta Canola Producers Commission, Sask Canola, and Manitoba Canola Growers.
Kelvin Heppner with Real Agriculture. We are at Canola Week in Saskatoon and joined now by Meghan Moran with Ontario's Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs. And Meghan, when we think about canola as a Canadian crop, we often think of Western Canada, but of course there are canola acres in Ontario as well.
Yeah, so we have about 45,000 acres of canola. This in 2017. It has sort of decreased over the last few years because of issues with swede midge, but had some pretty good yields the last 3 years, and so growers are excited about maybe more acres in the future.
So what would acres have been in the past?
We've been as high as, I think, 90,000 acres, so still fairly low if you're a Western Canadian, but I think on average, I kind of looked at the last 25 years, and it's about 55,000 on average, so I guess lots of up and down over the years.
And you said swede midge is the main factor that acres have dropped?
Yeah, so swede midge is a main production concern of canola, but obviously corn and soybean sort of a little more profitable, so that's probably the main reason we have low acres. But I say swede midge is the reason that growers are maybe walking away from some canola production.
Okay. In terms of rotation, it would be a similar rotation to what we would see in more the eastern side of the prairies, where you grow canola and then winter wheat into that stubble? Yeah,
so there are some growers with that 4-crop rotation, so winter wheat after canola, and then probably soybeans and then corn, or some variations of that. In some of our northern regions, there's more forages and spring cereals in the mix, but lots of different crop rotation opportunities in Ontario.
Okay, so what does the future hold for canola in Ontario then?
Hopefully we see some increased acres. We're getting a little better control of swede midge. We're seeing some beneficial parasites, but also maybe some acres of winter canola if we can get some varieties registered. And probably that'll be in the more southern regions of Ontario, I think is the best fit.
And you were saying there are some growers that are already experimenting with that?
Yeah, there are a few winter canola growers. A lot of them are bringing in seed from the States, and so it's a bit of a challenge to do that. But and they're sometimes able to double crop soybeans after winter canola. So there is some opportunities there. I know some growers that have good yields on winter canola and the double crop soys.
And that also winter canola would also fit with the effort to keep ground covered and have a crop growing in it in fall?
Yeah, that's right. So any winter crop is good for keeping more ground cover year round. And it also, while swede midge can still reproduce on winter canola, you wouldn't probably see yield loss from swede midge in winter canola.
Okay, because of timing?
Yeah, just because the crop's already bolted and setting flowers and pods early, and we don't see swede midge until June. So.
Okay. What about on the demand side, just finally? Where does canola that's grown in Ontario go?
Where does it go?
Yeah.
Basically, not a lot of canola storage, so basically all canola is trucked to Bungie or sometimes ADM. So, yep.
One other question then, Meghan. Clubroot is a disease that more and more growers in Western Canada are having to face reality with. What about in Ontario? Yeah,
we have seen clubroot in 2016 and 2017. So because of the wet year, clubroot's probably been around a little while, but because of wet conditions in 2017, we saw some yield loss. And I think this is a great opportunity to make growers aware of clubroot emerging in Ontario, and we should try to manage it early and get ahead of the game here in Ontario. So.
All right. And those would be the same practices that we have in Western Canada to minimize soil movement and all those sorts of things.
Absolutely, minimize soil movement and deploy some resistant varieties early before we have high spore counts, and maintain those longer rotations. We do have an opportunity for long rotations in Ontario, so for most areas.
Well, thanks for joining us and shedding some light, maybe opening our eyes to where canola is all grown in Canada.
Thanks so much.